I can get it right, but just good enough. Oh, I can't complain. I chose this life. How do I get up when I'm the one that's thinking that I'm not enough? Gotta drop the mindset, change the view. My life, it needs a tune-up, hitting bumps inside the road. Had a smooth ride up to now, but it's time to make a change. I'm hitting ground, running round and round. Got to hit the ground, running round and round. Inside the road, had a smooth ride up to now, but it's time to make a change. I'm hitting ground, hitting the ground, running round and round. Got to hit the ground, running round and round. One hit, we in flight. Got the roof off, cruising through paradise. Not to worry, in sight. Nothing but green eyes, orange skies. We only thinking about today. You ain't got work or shit to do. Got enough left for one or two. Leave your problems at home and pick up a swish and let's roll. We can find a nice secluded spot with a seaside view. The time away.
What up, y'all? What up? It's the 6 Degrees Podcast. Welcome.
My summer mood, I'm feeling childlike.
It's my jam, y'all.
We got to have a night.
This is my part right here.
My summer mood, I'm feeling childlike. I'm next to you. We got to have.
I swear I listened to the whole song for this part. Right here, harmony. I do that every time. Welcome once again to the 6 Degrees Podcast, where instead of separation, we choose to explore the ties that bind and focus on those things that keep us connected, like that, just like that. As you can see today, I'm filming from an undisclosed location in the middle of an unknown city. I'm on a secret spy mission today, and so that's why I'm not in my normal studio. Anyway, I don't even know why I said that. But yo, listen, tonight we have a very special guest, brother by the name of Wesley. Listen, if you have listened to my album music, if you see me perform in the New York area at all, and you've enjoyed yourself, it's probably because of this dude. There's so many good things I could say about him, but I really want you guys to get a chance to hear more about him, to learn him, and to dive into his music as well, because he's an incredible musician in his own right. And so, as we always do, first thing, what's your temperature? Listen, my temperature today is like, it's fluctuated. It's been a day, man. Some things have gone down today that had my temperature rise a bit, but now I'm cool. I'm coasting. You know what I'm saying? I'm comfortable. I'm relaxed. You know what I'm saying? I found my zen space. So I would say my temperature tonight is like I'm at like a 60, 69, 68, 69 degrees. It's like right cool. Um, Let us know what's your temperature tonight. If you're in the chats, I see my brother is here, Kadre. We officially have a live show. Like, this show is official. This stream is official because Kadre is here. Kadre, what's your temperature tonight? If you're in the chat, let us know what's your temperature. I think it's important to know people's temperatures because that tells us and informs us how best we can relate to one another, how they're going to receive information, how we can give them information, how we can give them love if they need it. So that's what we're all here for, right? Anyway, moving along. Listen, I don't really want to delay anything tonight. I will give you a couple rules though. Throughout this whole podcast, and I see y'all. Peace, peace, peace back to you. If at any time you have any questions, feel free to jump in the chat. I'm always watching the chat. I'm trying my best to get to all of them. Can't guarantee I get to all of them. But if at any point you would like to hop backstage and talk face to face with myself or Bobby, which you will have plenty of opportunities to do a little bit later, you can use that link that just showed up in your chat, however you're watching this. But before we get started, and let me get rid of that right here. Before we get started, I'd like to remind you, wherever you are, however you're watching this, make sure you take a minute, hit that like button right underneath the video. If you're watching this on YouTube, hit that red subscribe button and that bell notification icon so you can be notified whenever we go live. Several ways that you can contribute to tonight's show. One, just leave a comment in the chat, participate in the chat. Two, ask a question or something. Hit that like button. That's another way you can participate and support. And also, this right here, you have some stuff flowing across the bottom of your screen right there. Those ways of supporting are much appreciated. And you can do it anytime if you're watching this live or if you're watching this later. So anyway, without any further ado, and I see we already got somebody backstage. What's up, Kadre? I see you back there, brother. We're going to get to you. And listen, I'm trying to focus up. This is not my usual setup. My usual setup, I'm like looking in this direction. So like it's, anyway. Oh, what happened? What happened? My brother, he got kicked out. All right, we're going to give him a second to get back. While I do that, or while we wait for Bobby to come back, I don't know what happened just now, but I'm sure he'll be back in a second. Let me just remind you of some other projects that I'm a part of and some really good things that we have coming up. This is my brother, the one and only Mr. Robbie Tolan. He has a podcast, he has new episodes that come out each and every Thursday. Real Talk with Robbie Tolan. Really, really solid podcast available on all your networks. Also, I'm a co-host of the Free Agents podcast, which airs each and every Saturday night at 10 p.m. Eastern time. Tune into that. We've this month have highlighted women for Women's Her Story Month. Not his story, it's her story. And we got another good episode coming for you. Excuse me, this Saturday evening. Make sure you tune into that and follow. And then, of course, this right here, the 6 Degrees podcast. Of course, you're watching this now and you're supporting, so you know how to find it. But we air each and every Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern. Bobby, you ready? Give me a thumbs up if you're ready. Thumbs up if you're ready. Give me a thumbs up if you're ready. Okay, he's not giving me a thumbs up. Thumbs up? Can you hear me? Okay, cool. Here we go. Um, without further ado, y'all, my brother, Mr. Bobby Wesley. What's up, bruh?
What's up?
What's
How you
up?
Hold
How
on
you
doing?
just a second.
doing?
Let me change this because it might be a little bit of feedback here.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. There we go. How you doing, man?
I'm all right. How are you?
I'm great, man. What's your temperature tonight?
Ooh, it's a little warm right now. It's a little toasty.
Oh, okay, okay. Why so?
I don't know because it's the temperature is rising outside, so it's warm in here. It's like
Dig it,
seven. It's in the 70s here.
dig it. I'm talking about your personal temperature.
Right. Um, what is my temperature? I would say lukewarm.
Okay, I
Hmm.
like that. Lukewarm don't really have a number. It's just like wherever you are, it's warm.
Yeah, I'm not totally down. I'm not totally up.
Dig
Just.
it. Dig
Hmm.
it. Hey man, we'll take that. We'll take that. Absolutely. Kadre says my temp is about 70 degrees. Started the morning laughing at parody videos. Still laughing thanks to numerous wild out clips I've been watching. Listen,
Nice.
I love the internet because you can, whatever mood you're in, you can continue to be in that mood by watching clips or get yourself out of that mood by, watching
Mm-hmm.
stuff that's going to be on there forever.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to wait for shows to come on once a week. Looking at TV guide. I'm dating myself now. Um, Anyway, let's get to it, bro. Bobby, listen, the first question I ask all my guests is, what do you remember about how we met?
mm. Try to remember when the actual first time we met, because I know we exchanged numbers at what's it called, at Brooklyn Public Television
Mm-hmm.
at the BAM thing. But I feel
That's right.
like I might have met you before that though.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah.
It was
But
probably
that's the moment I remember the most.
yeah. When you were playing with Matt, right?
Yep.
Dope. That was a dope show, man. Some killers on that one, man.
Mm-hmm.
I remember that. Yeah, man. And it's funny because I don't really remember the first place I met you, but it had to be. I don't know. I feel like it had to be at a jam session or something. I felt because that's how I
Yeah.
met everybody.
Same.
Um,
Yeah.
but if you notice, I named this episode "Winter Break," and the reason I named it "Winter Break" is because I feel like even though I had met you and we had been playing gumbos,
Mm-hmm.
and uh, so I mean we were kind of familiar with each other. It's like that was the time. It was my winter break when we went to the house in Jersey, me, you, and Eric, and
Mm-hmm.
started working on the album, and that's where we really began to
Yeah.
build a relationship. And
Mm-hmm.
so, one of the things that we talked about that day, and I know I'm getting into it real heavy right now. That's okay because you do. One of the things you talked about was kind of like your upbringing, and there were some times where you felt like a bit insecure or like an outsider almost to even your own culture. And
Mm-hmm.
so I wanted you to talk about that a little bit, and then um, of course, where you're from, I'm sure that's going to play a big part into how people understand the story. And then, like, how
Yeah.
does that inform your music?
Ooh. Ooh. Yeah, you started off real heavy. All right.
Hey, let's go. Let's go.
Well, so I'm from Detroit, Michigan, Motown 313.
There we go.
I feel like whenever we do the shout outs in New York, nobody's from Detroit.
Nah, nobody
I
is.
feel like everybody, all the gumbos, everybody, oh, Houston, oh, Philly, or whatever, nobody's from Detroit. Um, um, yeah, so growing up in Detroit is, a city that's pretty much only black people.
Mm,
um, and I think for me, what was rough is I was fortunate to have my great uncle and aunt that didn't have kids of their own,
mm,
and so they invested in me and my sister. Um, my mom was a single mom, and she was uh, in and out of school in college and working. So me and my sister would stay with my great uncle and aunt a lot. My great uncle was a painter, and my great aunt was a nurse practitioner. Um, but they were kind of like hipsters. Um, they were really into the arts and really wanted to put us into any and everything. So I would be outside flipping in the streets, jumping out of trees and stuff. And so my uncle was like, "Oh, we should put him in gymnastics," um, which there was some other things in there too, but that was like my life for a good chunk of my childhood. So we go out to the suburbs, and being out there, it's like we're kind of the only black folk out there.
Mm.
Yeah, so uh, I guess for me, I didn't really get some of the subtle racism that was going on.
Mm.
I just kind of saw this like nice, happy world that was clean and not like the hood where I was from.
Yeah.
And I was really envious of that and didn't really understand at that point
So
why
you were
things were the way
you,
they were.
so you were envious of that hood experience.
No, of not having that because that's where I was from. I was
Got you.
envious of like this suburban,
Got you. Got you.
picturesque, very clean, uh, and yeah, going back to school from that and being excited about I can do a back handspring, I can do a backflip, and like getting in fights at school over just like dumb stuff all the time. I didn't really I didn't like that. It didn't feel good. Um, and I just didn't really understand what was going on. So I felt a little strange being out in the suburbs because I'm like, I'm the only, there was like one or two other black kids on the team, but still it was like, a whole nother place, could obviously feel different.
Right.
Felt a little embarrassed. Um, and then also going back to school, all black school, and being interested in things that weren't basketball, football,
Yeah.
um, trying to use proper English, uh, just
Yo,
being different.
yeah, I'm sure a lot of people can relate to that too, especially because as a kid, as a kid, that's the breadth of your experience. So you don't know that that like you don't know that, or you don't know why people aren't as accepting. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
You're
Hmm.
just like wanting to be a part of whatever it is that you want to be a part of. You don't know why you're sticking out.
Right. And it's not like I didn't play basketball or football or anything. I did all those things too, but I was also like, but I want to be a Power Ranger. I want to do a backflip. Like that's dope. So
You said
I don't,
you said you're in
huh.
gymnastics. Like that's not something that most people get to be involved in.
Yeah. I mean, and looking back, I think that was some of the things that were causing issues for me in school. I think there was probably some jealousy there, um, and it's just different. You don't see a lot of black people in gymnastics, especially in the '90s. Um, so yeah, I didn't really feel totally comfortable anywhere. I kind
Mhm.
of felt like I was putting on a different mask or a different skin in both places. Um, yeah, so it was definitely rough. And yeah, just like all the fights, having kids like break into my house and steal stuff that were like my friends.
Your
Um,
friends broke into your house, bro.
yeah, I'm from the hood, bro. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not a hood person, but I know all of those the mentality.
That's Detroit than a motherfucker.
Yeah.
So it's interesting, man, because And I just remember having these conversations early on, and like that experience that you shared with me in that moment, it was
Mm-hmm.
just like I would never have seen that experience. And like if I were to write a
Mm-hmm.
story about who I knew Bobby to be just in passing, I just would have never, you know what I'm saying, come to these conclusions. But I think it also um, affects how you create and
Mm-hmm.
that you create. And so like how did you get from those spaces into like finding music?
Mm. Try and keep it all in
Yeah.
one thing. I mean, so without going too deep into all the experience, I got to a point where I didn't like that I was black, not because I don't like black people, but everybody was telling me I wasn't black. Even white people were telling me that. So I was like,
Wow.
okay, and like, did God make me wrong or something? Like I was really confused, but kind of started to just accept, like, okay, well, I guess nobody sees me as black. I'm still gonna do whatever I want to do. But yeah, so right before high school, um, my great uncle and aunt, who I was living with in Detroit at the time, I was helping my uncle clean out the basement. They had like this little like Harry Potter room under the basement stairs
Yeah,
where they
yeah,
just threw a bunch of stuff. Uh, and I saw a guitar case and I was like, oh, what is that? I've never seen a guitar before in person. So I took it out. He had this classical guitar, and I saw this cassette tape of Led Zeppelin that he had made. Um, and I had never heard Led Zeppelin, um, but I heard of them because of School of Rock,
yeah.
if you remember that movie.
I do.
So I was like, there's a scene where he's like trying to school the kids. He's like, "You've never heard of Led Zeppelin and Pink Floyd?" And I'm like, "Nope, I don't know what you're talking about." So I saw that and I was like, "Oh, okay. Let me see what this sounds like." And I listened to it and heard the song "Dazed and Confused." And there's a part in there where he's got a violin bow or cello bow or something on the electric guitar and just making these crazy sounds and the guitar solo. And also now I think about it, the production too. I'd never heard production like that. Just hard panning and having stuff like flying
Yeah.
all over the place in the imaging. Um, so I was just like blown away and I was like, whoa, this is all I want to listen to. I want to do that. I want to be
That's
able to solo.
it's crazy that that is your intro into, you know what I'm saying, guitar, because
Yeah,
that's a hell of an intro. It's hard to find much that's better than that.
yeah, yeah. Because I mean, I grew up with like Motown and like just soul in general, and then whatever hip hop was on the radio, all
Mm,
the Ludacris and Nelly, whoever whatever pop rap was at the time, it was kind of what I knew. And then also being out in the suburbs, I listened to a lot of like alternative rock. Um, but then also to fit in school, I tried to like listen to all the rap too. Um, but uh, I didn't I didn't care about music really
okay.
until I found Led Zeppelin.
Mm,
Um, and then from there, um, I just wouldn't put down the guitar. And so my uncle got me a guitar that Christmas, me and my sister, and they put me in guitar lessons. And that was cool up until I kept asking about, I didn't know how to ask it, but I was asking about music theory. I wanted to know how to make these things happen. Because he was just showing me some songs and stuff. And I'm like, okay, but like why though? Like why does that sound good? How do you create stuff? Um, and I was kind of doing it on my own, but I didn't know what I was doing. So I wanted to know what I was doing so I just knew there was more to it. And I think my teacher at the time wasn't that versed in music theory, so he didn't really know what to tell me. He introduced me to the real book, which is like a book of all the jazz standards.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so I quit that probably after half a year or so. Um, and then I got into high school, and my history teacher had a guitar club. Um, and this was also like first time I've been in school with white people too. So it was like this weird,
Mm.
I don't know. Yeah, I'm trying to mix both of these like timelines together. But also in high school, I just didn't fit in with black kids really. Like I had black friends, but like for the most part, I felt really uncomfortable when I got into environments that were only black people outside of like my family or like whatever group was my friends at the
Right.
time. Um, and yeah, I just, for no reason. I mean, I get why they would call me white boy or, you know, the F word, which we can't use anymore. I'll just say it, faggot, or like whatever kind of, like
Yeah.
anything that they could think of, just for being different. Then I got into a band with some kids in the guitar club. Um, we called it Atomic Orange
Atomic Orange.
because the lead singer found that name from an episode of what was this show called? Pimp My Ride. That was
Oh,
like one of the
shout-
colors.
yo, that was a great show, by the way.
Yeah, yeah. That's very like the beginning of I don't even know what to call that type of TV. Just like random
Yeah, that was like
stuff.
'cause it was like this. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. It was totally random, but it was like
Yeah.
transform. There's a really good documentary about, or like an interview on Exhibit goes into detail about all of that stuff. Anyway, I don't want to get into.
Okay. Um,
So Atomic Orange, what kind of band was that?
I just wanted to play Led Zeppelin, but they wanted to do like Weezer and I don't even
Okay.
know anymore. I don't even know what else because I was like, cool, whatever, guys. But the drummer introduced me to Radiohead, which is
Uh,
now like one of my favorite bands. I haven't listened to them in a while, but uh, at first I was like, what is this whiny ass? Turn this shit off. This isn't Led Zeppelin. That was like all I cared about. Like Led Zeppelin's way better. And then one night I went to a drum circle that my one of the art teachers at my high school. So I went to high school outside of Detroit in this town called Berkeley. Then
okay.
there's this other town that was like kind of the hippie sort of burnout white people town. I don't even want to, I shouldn't say that. Those are all negative things. It was a nice artsy town called Ferndale, and they had a cafe. It was called Zato's at the time. I don't know what that means, but yeah. So the teacher would have a drum circle there, and it was like part of the open mic night. So that was like my introduction to open mic nights. So I would go there and I would perform sometimes. And one night after diving practice, I was a diver for a minute too in high school. My friend was dropping me off there,
You
and
you did all the sports that no black people did, bro.
I
That's
know because it was just fun. More black people should do it because we'd be taking that shit over too.
right,
Um,
right.
really though, um, don't limit us, you know.
Nah,
But so my friend took me over there and we smoked in the car, and I was like, "Whoa!" And I showed up there, got on stage, and I was like high as fuck. I was like beating on my guitar, like I don't even know what happened. But my mom picked me up, and of course I'm like terrified. I'm like hanging out the window, window down, like, oh yeah, school was cool. Yep. Mm-hmm. And I got home and I turned on Radiohead for some reason. I was like, maybe I'll get it now. And I just
yeah,
remember just laying there staring at the ceiling, and I was like, oh,
it made sense.
it made sense. It became, I don't know if I got into them at that point, but I was just like, oh, okay, I'm into
Something.
this now. I get it. I get it. Um, so we moved out to Southfield, which is like black suburbs, I guess, of Detroit. Um, and it was near a Guitar Center. So that was the first time I went to Guitar Center, I think.
Mm.
And it was just like, whoa, Toys R Us for me. Sweet.
For music, yeah.
Yeah. And so I would just go there after school every day and just jam out and hope I would like meet somebody that was dope and pick up on what they were doing. Also during this time, my great uncle and my mom would take me downtown to all these blues clubs when I was like 15. Um, and back then it was still like people smoking cigarettes and everything in there. Um,
So you were getting to like, so they would take you and you would go play with them, or you would just sit.
yeah, I would go jam. Yeah.
Dope, man.
Um, yeah. So I learned to play with people really early on.
Mm.
Um, and I knew like my pentatonic scale, and that's all you need for the blues. So
Yeah.
yeah, so I would go down to all these blues clubs and be there till like 2 in the morning, go to school the next day. Um, but through Guitar Center, I started getting gigs. That was like my introduction to gigs. Um, because there's a lot of basement producers um, in Detroit. So they would come past and like the DJ room, you had to walk past the guitar amps to get there, and they'd hear me and they'd be like, oh, look at this little nigga playing guitar. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
my mom would take me over to people's houses to get paid to play guitar on tracks, not
Wow.
knowing what I was doing. But so that was my introduction to gigs. I got linked up with this rapper and became really close friends with him. And through that, got other gigs with the other band members. Um, Meantime, I'm like kind of fading away from my high school band because this is a little bit more my
Atomic
world.
Atomic Orange wasn't getting the blues gigs. And
Yeah, no blues or hip hop gigs. Yeah, yeah. So I just got really serious about it, and at that point, I was like, "This is what I want to do." Um, and I think junior year was like probably my last show with Atomic Orange, which I think had changed names and members at that point.
yeah.
So all the drama, but so my history teacher, rest in peace at this point, she's passed away now, but she approached me and my mom and told us about Berkeley. And I was like, Berkeley, what is that? Because I also went to Berkeley High School. So I was like, another Berkeley? What? uh, and yeah, so she told me about it. And I was like, that's where I'm going. There's nowhere else that I'm going. That's it. And that was the only school I applied to.
Wow.
I went and auditioned, didn't know how to read music, um, but I got in. I had to defer for a year. Then I went, um, and it was amazing. And I got to do a lot of cool stuff, really exciting stuff. But
That's
that,
that's that's dope, man. And it's so interesting you mentioned Berkeley because um I remember when I after meeting you when you said you went to Berkeley, I was like, dang, everybody I meet is a Berkeley person. Or I'm like, this
mhm,
everybody, everybody, some connection to Berkeley.
mhm.
I just thought that was interesting too. And we've had several people on the show for that same reason because I know so many Berkeley cats who are connected, and so it's cool that we can make these, and we'll draw these connections later. But I'm gonna let you finish your story.
I mean, I think for your question, that was it. I think.
So, but okay, so you found the guitar in the garage. It leads you
Hmm.
down. Now you're in these smoky blues clubs at
Hmm.
15, 16 years old. You know what I'm saying? Down by the crossroads, and
Making deals with the devil.
And so you hear about Berkeley, you go to Berkeley,
Hmm.
and so like there at some point in there, like when did you realize, because you had already begun to learn how to do it, right? And why you could make music the way you could. At one point, did you decide, okay, like I'm going to now start creating? Um,
Mm-hmm. Um, so actually in high school, I had a really shitty computer mic and I had a production program called Acid.
I had Acid,
I
man.
think that's what it's called. Yeah. And I would create then. I didn't know what I was doing. I
Mm.
mean, whatever, I shouldn't say that. I was
You
creating.
playing? You just
Um, yeah, but I didn't know like, anything about microphones or
no technique.
levels or anything. Yeah. Um, but in a way I kind of miss how I was creating then because I didn't know anything and I didn't care. Um, but so I got to Berkeley, got heavy into jazz sort of. Like I studied a lot of it, but I I never was like a jazz musician really, I guess in a way. But I was in a lot of different bands and a lot of different ensembles at Berkeley.
Mm.
But I didn't really feel fulfilled because I think there was still the part of me that wanted to create um, like everything.
Mm.
Um, and I think so. I heard Bilal. I heard Bilal on a Robert Glasper track, All Matter actually. Um, I know that's your jam.
That's one of
Uh,
his favorites
I
ever,
know.
ever.
Uh, so I heard that, and it reminded me of Robert Plant from Led Zeppelin, and I was
Uh,
like, "Whoa, this is crazy!" And he's talking about matter, like just
yeah,
the
physics.
content of the song was also like for my nerd soul. I was like, "Ooh." Um, and
He
I
made
went on YouTube. I went on YouTube and found a video of him doing Since I've Been Loving You, which is a Led Zeppelin song, and then go transitions into uh, Everything in Its Right Place by
mm,
Radiohead. And I was like, a black person do it? Yes, yes. I
he
want to
takes
be that. I want
yeah.
to be him. um, and just the way he sings too. I really, I don't like super polished things. I like
Mm,
things that are really raw, um, you know, technique and control and understanding of what's happening, not just like I'm just doing stuff,
yeah.
yay, but like but not giving a fuck at the same time.
Mm,
Um, I really like that, and that's how I kind of feel about myself as a musician too. Um, so that was, and I think that was like 2012, and I was like, cool, I'm gonna learn how to sing and write songs. That's
mm,
that's what it is. Um, and my friend Aaron Liao and Ian Barnett, I had like a trio with them. And Aaron was like super, he still to this day is, but he was very linked in Berkeley. Like he knew how to get into any and everything, and like almost everything cool that I did at Berkeley, he
because
got me into. I got to play with Willie Nelson and Annie Lennox because of him,
wow,
Michelle and Cello because of him, uh, Valerie Simpson because of him,
wow.
um, and probably more stuff that I'm forgetting right now. But yeah, so he always like, and still to this day is like super supportive of me um, musically. So it was sounding very rough back then. It is what it is now, but it definitely was rough back then. Um, but they always had my back whenever I was like,
Yeah.
they would get me shows, and they were always down to just jam and like let me do me and pick whatever songs I wanted to do, whether I could sing them or not. So
That's so
yeah.
interesting how everybody, and I see it a lot as I hear people's stories, but there's always people there that like kind of push them, or you know what I'm saying, or encourage, not necessarily,
Hmm.
but encourage and keep them encouraged and keep them motivated. And I think in exercising that belief in each other, it pushes them to the next phase and the next space.
Hmm. Yep.
Um, and so you talked about how it was really rough, and I think this is a good segue into this next portion.
Oh
Um,
no.
so what I really wanted to do, and I told you this, and shouts out to I see my cousins in the chat, um, hunted and claps. I like that. That's always a good thing. Let me just take a moment too, and if you're new here, we got a couple new people. Just remind you to whatever platform you're on, make sure you follow, like, and subscribe. And if you would like to, you can support below. Cash App, Venmo. We take all kinds of things in here. And if you can't do any of that, just like the video, share it with a friend, put a comment below. Um, so I wanted to do something special for this show because this is called, winter break. So that winter break, I remember that was the first time I heard your music.
Hmm.
And one thing that I've always tried to do, because it was done for me, I was about to say to me, but it was kind of done to me and for me, was like,
You're
yo,
welcome.
where's your music? Where's your stuff at?
Hmm.
Like, when are you gonna? And I think it's important to ask people that, because a lot of times we don't, or I'll say, speaking from personal experience, like there were times where I didn't realize that my experience was valuable to communicate. And
Hmm.
and I think just the question is just like, it's like, hey, when are you going to do your stuff? It's like, I have the expectation that you're going to do your stuff. And so, what I'm saying, there's probably somebody else out here who is going to have that expectation of you, or who just wants it or desires it from you, may need it from you. You never know. But I remember you sitting at the piano and playing some stuff. And then I think you played something uh, like from your phone or something like that. And it was just like, yeah, you were talking about how you were just trying to get there, but you just weren't comfortable with your singing yet. And I mean, you were blazing on guitar, but you just weren't there comfortable. You hadn't developed that comfort yet with your singing. And so, like, listening to it, I'm just like, yo, this is dope. What's up, Derek? What's up? My other co-host for the Free Agents podcast. Um, but yeah, so I wanted to really dive into your music because I find myself inspired by your music. And
Oh, thanks, man.
straight up, real talk. And I've told you, I've texted you multiple times, like, yo, Malika's, your song is on repeat in here. When
Yep, yep.
Summer Mood came out, it was on. That's why I'm like, boom, 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 boom. Love it. I just love it. And so that's why I wanted to start off playing your music. And so before we get to um the what's the name of the thing? There's a song for that. I couldn't even think of the name of the thing from my own damn show.
That's the
Um,
embarrassing part, right? The picture thing.
yes, yes, we
That's
got
what I
some.
put on my story. Hopefully, we got some people because of that.
Listen, we got something in here for you too. Um, but I wanted to dive into a couple of your songs
Okay.
because as I listen, I find myself asking, like, who are you writing to? Who are you writing for? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I listen. It's not like, a lot of people, in a lots of I don't know, different genres of music, they write for different reasons. Everybody writes for a
Hmm.
certain, but it feels there's something very, very personal about your writing.
Yeah.
And so, like, it seems like this is not to an audience a lot of times. It feels like this is to yourself. And
Yeah.
so I just wanted to,
Very selfish.
hey, listen, whatever it is, other people have that same experience.
Exactly. That's why I do it.
And so I wanted to play a couple joints and just a little bit, and not gonna play the whole song, but I just find that the lyrics are, man, they're very heavy, and you present them in a light way, and so it feels good, it sounds good. You don't get bogged down by the weight of the music, but it's still like what you're saying in here is relevant and it's important. And so I want to just delve into this, and then maybe you give some background on where you were when you were writing it, and
Hmm.
what your intended purpose, like what was your, how are you intending to connect with your audience as you created
Hmm.
this. All right, for the people out there listening, I'm sorry, no, I'm not going to do that. So here's what's going to happen, Bobby, and I've learned this through countless episodes now. And I say countless episodes, because I've done these and then the working on it and then the free agents. I'm gonna have to switch over to stereo, because I will not play your music in mono. I refuse to do that to the people who are listening. That I refuse to do that to you. That is not how you mixed it. You did not mix it to be listened to in mono. So because of that, I'm gonna mute you just while I play it, and give me a second to bring you back
Cool.
when we get back to the conversation. All right. So here, I'm gonna mute you now really quickly. And where's my cam mic settings? Bam. All right. And I know Kadre will appreciate this, because Kadre always lets me know, hey, bro, it's in mono. I'm like, Vince, oh, yeah. He says stereo, because that's the only way. That is the only way. Only accurate representation. All right. This is the first song, and it's called Love You.
Wish I could press pause for a little while and gather up my shit. The clock's been ticking, ticking, ticking. Was going fine for a little while, then in comes my old friend. Insecurity's knocking, knocking, knocking.
So that one was called Love You. Listen, you caught the lyrics. Bobby, I'm gonna let you dive into that, man. Where were you at when you wrote Love You? And oh man, you getting love in here. First of all, shouts out to Brent, that's family.
Hey, Black Jesus.
Black Jesus.
Wow.
Thanks,
It's been
baby.
too long. Perfect beard. I'm trying to get on your level, bro.
Bro, we all
I'm
trying to get on
trying.
level. Brent's level.
I got my new comb and brush.
Kadre says, yes, my ears love this.
Yay. Thank you.
Who got that Spotify link? So glad you asked that, Vince.
It's in the chat.
It's in the chat. I'm about to put it in the chat right now. So you can enjoy this music right here. That will take you to Bobby Wesley's Spotify page. Click that. Open it in another browser, because we don't want you to leave this stream right now. But you can open it in another browser, and you can hear his whole catalog of stuff that he's released. This song that we just played was called Love You. Talk to us about that. You just want to press pause for a little while. Come on now. Let's go.
I mean, I feel like I go back and forth with this a lot. And I think maybe it was around the same time. I mean, mental health has always been a thing, but I feel like it's very prevalent right now. And when I wrote that, for me, it was it was me being in. I think I tend to do this when I'm in a down place is when I write the most.
Hmm.
Uh, but I have to be in the right depressed mode. I have to be in like
You can't
depressed, but I need to do something about it mode.
depressed,
um,
depressed and motivated.
yeah, exactly. So like medium depressed. I don't know what to call it, but
It's a meter press. It's
yeah,
a medi
yeah.
press.
Because right now I'm in a place where I can't create, but
Mm.
it it feels sometimes. I mean, just straight up on the lyrics, it just feels like sometimes things are going good, and I'm like, oh, I don't know why, and I kind of forget that sometimes they're not, and then all of
Yeah.
a sudden I'm like, oh shit, like I don't have any gigs right now. I'm struggling playing in the subways. I had a really good touring gig, and now I don't have anything.
Yeah.
Will I ever get that again? Um, uh, and just feeling down on myself in general about everything sometimes. But then also, I'm trying to remember why I brought in the content that's in the chorus. Um, so going back on the blackness part of growing up, going through high school, like I said, I got to a point where I just didn't like that I was black. Like it just felt like something was wrong with me because I didn't fit in with the black community, or at
Yeah.
least that's what they were telling me. Um, so even in college, I still kind of felt kind of shied away from like the black things at Berkeley, unfortunately,
Yeah.
because I just nobody at that point nobody was really treating me in a like ostracizing way at that point, but I already felt it so much that that was just my norm.
Yeah.
So I kind of like assumed like, oh well, they won't like me, or like any black girl that I was interested in, I'd be like, oh well, she's not gonna like me because I'm not thug enough, or I'm too white. Um, and also like a lot of mentors that I could have had, teachers and things. I think I missed out on a lot of things because my view is so skewed from my past.
Mm.
Um, and it wasn't until later in Berkeley when I started getting asked to be in more uh, of the, I guess, like culturally black things like neo soul ensemble and play with
Yeah.
Layla Hathaway and stuff like that, um, which I never would have thought I'd be asked to do, you know.
Right.
So even being in that, I felt good because I was like, oh, like I'm being accepted, I'm being asked to do this stuff. Like, I don't feel like, oh, I got to be quiet. I can't let them hear me talk.
Mm.
Um, and when I moved to Brooklyn, well, at Berkeley, I took this philosophy and religion class that really made me think about a lot of stuff. And it also got me into ancient history studies in general. And when I moved to Brooklyn, um, I don't even know 100% what did it. I think I run into some racist situations in Boston that that made me want to jump back, or with age, I don't know, but something made me want to figure out how to connect with my blackness.
Yeah.
So I did it through going through ancient studies, learning about African tribes like the Dogon, learning about the Empire of Mali, or several dynasties there. And through that, that was the way I could connect, and starting to see how much of the world we built and how much we contributed to what caused a lot of things to happen, like, and knowing about the Great Library of Timbuktu,
Mm.
and that Socrates, and like, all these like really big name white people
Yeah.
that were such big culture changes, that they learned from Black people at the time, and really kind of digging deep into that and figuring out um, where I felt like I fit into everything. And um, reading, I read this book about Ralph Ellison, Invisible Man.
Man. Yeah.
And yeah, that was a big one for me too, because the way he wrote, it's not like the way he wrote, to me, it felt like a man's story, and the man happens to be Black, rather than being like, and it's not like he didn't know he was Black, or like he wasn't saying anything about being Black, but it felt different to me
Mm.
than some other Black authors that I had read at the time. Or at least maybe it was more because of the novel side of it, and that it wasn't about slavery, or I don't even know exactly, but for some reason it clicked with me, and it felt really good to read, and I felt more of myself in his story than I did in other things up until then. Um, so I think the chorus, bringing it back to the song, the chorus is me sort of talking to myself. I do tend to talk to myself, but I feel like if I feel some of these things, there's always somebody else that feels in some way or another the same thing.
Yeah.
And I'm not being totally specific to me. So I think the vague ideas can always reach somebody else. Um, Hopefully, that's the hope.
Yeah.
Um,
I can honestly say it does, because it resonated with me, and it and I would not have even gone in all of those layers. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't have peeled back that many layers to me. And I think that's what really good art does, right? It meets you wherever you are, and
mhm,
allows itself to, like, it, you can make some kind of sense of it wherever you are. You know what I'm saying?
mhm,
You know, when you first heard Radiohead, you didn't get it, but something in it connected to you. So when you
mhm,
get high off your ass, you were able to listen again and like unlock that key. You know what I'm saying? I think
mhm.
that particular song, it was just it's needed. And I think about 2020, like, that song is needed. But you put that out in 2019, right?
I don't even remember anymore. No, 2020.
That was 2020. Okay.
Yeah.
But it's just like, yo, like, that is a song that it's gonna hit you wherever you are. If you're depressed, it hits you. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mhm,
you're just not finding space for yourself, or you don't see a space for yourself in this culture. Like, hey, live by your own philosophy. Like, you can do
mhm,
it. Like, you can be you. You just got to tell yourself you love you. Anyway,
mhm.
that song is the truth. Kadre said Spotify link is fine and all, but where's the Apple Music iTunes link? You're absolutely right.
That's
Um,
in there. It should. Yeah.
I should
It's on
have
Apple.
put and hold on, Kadre also has another comment. He says, I hate the fact that many of us people of color judge each other's blackness based on speech and the type of music we choose to listen to. Absolutely.
Exactly. And everything else. We created half the shit. We can do whatever we want. You know.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, cool. So that's Love You. All right. Next song. And I should have started with these. It was a
Cause you
particular
know,
I didn't
I already
write
know what you're gonna start.
I didn't
Seasons.
write down. Yeah, I'm starting with Seasons,
Yeah,
man.
cause I got boy Bel-Ami is on there.
I mean, um, I think this is so if and the reason I started with Love You is because it's like Love You is like remind yourself, remind yourself, remind yourself. Seasons
Hmm.
is like I am. It's like an affirmation.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It's like this is me. Like,
Hmm.
anyway, I'm gonna let y'all listen to it. Please, I hope y'all really, really internalize these lyrics. If you can't understand them, just keep pushing play on his song until you
Yeah,
understand.
you know,
Because we're
you
not
you
gonna.
should figure it out. You should understand.
Figure it
It's not
out.
about me getting plays. It's really not.
It's just about some understanding and connecting. I'm gonna mute you, and the next thing you'll hear is Seasons. Oh crap! I didn't turn the volume back up since I had it down before. All right, here we go. Seasons.
When it's my turn to spring, I'll be blossoming up to the sky. Bring on the summer, cause I'ma be shy. Come at me, fall, I can handle the shade. Overcast won't last on me. Seasons will come, rivers will change, you'll see my colors.
Drop an emoji in the chat. Let me know what you think about the song.
Bring the difficulty level up to advance. I'll level up. The critics won't bring me down, no, not a chance. I won't give in. Negativity won't seize my ability to persist. I'll carry on like there's no end. Seasons will come.
That song was Seasons. If there was a voice in there that may have been familiar, it's because I just listen. When I do a background, I do a damn background. That's what I do. But man, talk about Seasons.
Seasons. That was the first song I ever put out in 2018. Yeah, I'm trying to think. What do I even say?
Listen,
I
man.
guess if you couldn't hear the lyrics, then um, I was trying to play around, do some word plays with the seasons.
Brent,
So
baby, bye.
right. He's like, I don't know the words. So when it's my turn to spring, I'll be blossoming up. We talk about the metaphor of when the stars are aligned and uh, when it's your time, but you just got to keep putting in the work. And when it's your time, you'll blossom. So the chorus, the whole idea of the song, let me say that is before I leave this earth, I want to show everything that I can about myself. I want to be as vulnerable, and just I want to give back to the earth, whether that means putting ideas into somebody's head and then they grow up and they blow up, they change the world, or whatever it could be, or if I have kids one day, just I want to feel like I put out everything that I can into this world before I leave it. So what made me think of it is I was thinking of fall. I was thinking of how the season fall. I was thinking of how when when the leaves are about to fall off the tree, they display all these beautiful colors
Mm-hmm.
that you didn't see in the spring. You didn't see it in the summer. But right before winter comes and everything's dead, you see this beautiful display of colors before they leave the tree. Um, so that
Mm.
was the idea behind that song.
That's a word. Listen, that's deep, brother. And listen, you know me, I can get deep with you too. There was something that I don't know if you intended it, but it resonated with me when I heard it, and I got patience from it because you start off when it's my turn. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I think a lot of what we do is we oftentimes try to force our way into spaces where we
Mm-hmm.
want to be. But
Mm-hmm.
just the fact that you started when it's my turn to spring, like I'll be blossoming up. Not like I'm gonna blossom up on that ass, nigga. Like, no, when it's my
Right.
turn. And I think that part, it just kind of sets the tone. And since that's
Mm-hmm.
the first statement you make, when it's my
Mm-hmm.
turn, then the rest of this song. You know what I mean? And I think that it sounds like patience. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Tempo is patience. It's not
Mm-hmm.
everything about it, man. I love that song. And so I remember when you had me come over and do the backs, I was like, this is dope. This is just and I remember thinking too, and I hadn't told you this, but part of that, like that really resonated with me like immediately, when it's my turn to spring. And so you put that out in 2018,
Mm-hmm.
and we recorded my project early 2018. We had already recorded everything for the most part. And
Mm-hmm.
I was like, but this time I was sitting on it, trying to figure stuff out, trying to work on it. You already put a song out that you hadn't even planned to put out yet. Yo, I need to put this out. Bobby already putting out stuff, and he hadn't even had. But then I had to remember patience, like, and understanding
Mm-hmm.
too, like that it's when it's right, and I
Mm-hmm.
have to determine that for myself as well. But that was something that definitely resonated with me, and then I carried a piece of that song after listening to it over and over. But it's, man, that's one of my favorites. That's one of my
Thank
favorites.
you. Thank you.
Last last one, and I'll still maybe end with this, um, but I hope I can find the part of the song that I want. Um, y'all, please forgive me for skipping through this a bit. Um, oh, hold on. Kadre says, "Forgive me for the delay in the heart emoji. He was too busy pressing the buy button on all five."
Ah, thank you.
That Kadre, man. Listen, can't nobody say that Kadre don't support and show love. He consistently, every time, he will push buy on iTunes before he push play on Spotify. I appreciate that, and I will do the same for him every time. All right, here's another song. Um, that, hey, look, I'm on this one too. Um, all right, I'm about to
Oh,
mute
this
you.
one's one of my favorites. This is one of
Yeah.
my personal favorites.
All
I
right,
haven't
here we go.
listened to it in a long time.
I'm gonna mute you so that they can hear this in stereo. All right. Stereo. Stereo. All right, this song is called Out Your Mind, Find a Way. Dope song. I'm not gonna play the whole thing. I wanna get to a particular part. Fuck it. No, I'm gonna play it. Like, we're just playing it. Whatever. Y'all go buy this.
Free your mind, stop complicating. You'll be fine, stop hesitating. Free your mind, stop complicating. You'll be fine, stop hesitating. Free your mind, stop hesitating. I think I'm afraid you do not see my innocence. Afraid of irrelevance. Afraid you hear me but don't hear what I'm saying. Shit's irritating. So yeah, maybe I'm paranoid. Double thinking like 1984. You alive, you say you never felt like this before. Your ego just masturbating, ejaculating. I've been afraid, anticipating to come up before I even have a finished product. I've been afraid of the fall. I haven't even started to climb up. Fuck.
Afraid that I'm young but too old to shine. Hate the spotlight but feel like no one's got shit like mine. Like mine.
Free your mind, stop complicating. You'll be fine, stop hesitating. Free your mind, stop complicating. You'll be fine, stop hesitating. Free your mind, stop hesitating.
You can't make me. Always changing. Relatively. Hope you're hearing me loud and clear. I'll be right here. Won't disappear. Time is right, long as you're still alive. Pack up all your fears, get them out your mind. Nothing else exists outside of space and time. So what you worry about, get about your mind. See the time is right, long as you're still alive. Pack up all your fears, get them out your mind. Instead of focused on everything gone wrong. What if this the time when everything goes right? Time you'll find out. In time you'll find. Don't give up now. No way. Time you'll find out. Don't give up. No, no, no. Time you'll find. In time you'll find your way. Don't give up now.
Listen, y'all. When I tell you that song hits in a special place, it hits in a very special place because, anyway, we'll let Bobby talk about how he came up with the concept of this. I mean, it's pretty straightforward. Like, it's pretty straightforward. But talk to me about the space you were in, and yeah.
So at this point, I felt a little bit more comfortable with finishing stuff.
Mhm.
For all you producers out there, I feel like maybe it's just me, but I felt like I struggled with completing things for a long time. And also I wanted to make something that that felt a little bit like Radiohead to me, that felt like Tyler the Creator. Also, I was listening to him a lot at that point, and he was starting to become a lot more musical, um, and kind of this concept of like multiple songs within one song. And it reminded me of my roots of listening to Led Zeppelin and those kind of psychedelic bands that did a similar thing, where you kind of feel like you're going on a journey. So that on top of knowing that I really was hearing a lot of things in flow and like rap flows, but because of, again, my childhood telling me I wasn't black enough, I felt like I couldn't do that. And I couldn't do a lot of things that are like considered black for a long time. Um, and so that was me kind of saying, fuck that.
Yeah.
This is what I want to do, so I'm going to do it. And telling myself to get out of my head and do it.
Bro,
So that,
it's crazy how
uh,
you spend so much time in your head, you realize
mhm,
it's getting done.
right. And then nobody cares. Nobody cares. And then at the end of that rap verse, I mean, even like singing and stuff, which I am singing, but like within that and within creating in general, I hold myself back so much because I'm afraid of how it'll be taken,
Mm,
um, or what people will think, or um, not only that, but like before it's even out, like just afraid, really, just afraid in general of everything about it. Afraid of what'll come out of myself. Um, Afraid of how it'll do once it is in the world. Um, Afraid of performing it. It's like you didn't even make the song yet, so why? How can you be afraid of performing it if it's not even there? Um, and yeah, just being afraid of getting into situations when the situation hasn't even happened yet.
mm.
You know, like you're not in the situation, so how can you be afraid of the situation?
Yo, listen,
Um,
that hits me on a different level. We'll have that talk off camera.
I mean, I would think a good amount of artists probably have some. I mean, like even this to an extent to be talking. I don't even know how many people are watching. I don't even know where to look to see, and
Yeah,
and I'm not even going to look to see. I don't even want to know. I don't care.
there
But
you go.
but even that, he like it's just me and you, bro. We're good.
Right.
uh, so yeah, so that's what this song was to me. It was me trying to play around a little bit more, like
Mm,
play with things that I know I like not being afraid to make something that's in an odd meter. It's not in 4/4,
right.
but there's like metric modulation, and it turns into 4/4 at the end. But and then also some of my earlier songs that I didn't even release, I performed them. Um, were a little too heady with chords, like chords
Mm,
all over the place for like the whole melody. But that was also me trying to hide that I couldn't sing at the time. So
mm,
I felt like I had to kind of rely on the harmony moving and my melodies being a little more simple.
got
Um, Even though I was still singing stuff that was too hard for me to sing. But yeah, so that's kind of what it was. And then I wanted to start collaborating and hearing other voices that I like um, on things, and just your vibe as a singer I really appreciate. Um, and I don't know, I just feel like, again, because of that winter break, um, I just felt pretty connected to you musically. Um, by pretty, I would say really that whole crew.
yeah.
And um, I just felt like because of our talks, like we've had really long, in-depth talks on a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
So I feel like you know me pretty well and like kind of get where I'm coming from a lot of the time. So yeah, I was like, I want you to write the second half of the song. And I wanted to just kind of sit back and like lay down a groove
Mm.
and just see what you did with it.
And I
And
remember
it's
coming to the house
dope.
and writing it, and it was one of those times where you just rarely am I able to sit down and get it done. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And
it was just first take everything almost. You're just
everything,
like, oh, okay, cool, I got you.
yeah. I remember it took me a second to catch when to start,
Right.
because right when I come in is when everything switches, and
Hmm.
I was just like, wow, this is different. And then I remember when you were getting ready to put it out and you were sending it out to different bloggers and
Yeah,
playlisters.
yeah,
It was just like, yeah, I don't know if this is gonna, but it was
yeah.
cool because on the heels of what you're talking about, um, the actual thing of getting out your head and getting out your way, like you didn't worry about that until you got to the point where you were putting it out. And then it was like, oh,
Right,
okay, now this is a rational concern, still not
right,
fearful.
right, right, right.
At
Yeah,
least you've done it. And so
right,
instead of stopping before and being like, yeah, but if I put something that's in a weird meter, they're not going to playlist it. Or if it's, you know what I'm saying?
right.
Things like that, where it's just, and now
Yeah.
it's out in the world, in this space, it can be that thing that inspires somebody to, like you talked about earlier, you know what I'm saying, to do something.
Hmm.
Somebody might hear that and be like, whoa, that might be somebody's Led Zeppelin moment,
Right.
and
That'd be amazing.
they might not get until they get high one night.
Yeah, right. No, it's kind of funny. So my great aunt told me recently that that's her favorite song of mine. Um, and I was surprised because in first showing them that, I was like, they're not gonna. They're like 70 and 80. This is
It's
weird,
not gonna resonate with them.
Yeah, and that's her favorite one now. She's like, she's
Wow.
listened to it a bunch of times, and she's like, oh, like it took me a minute, but it really, that's the one she vibes with, and I was like, okay, if
It has
you say so.
it's good. And I must say, bro, like this, the songs you produce, like you produce very pristine production, sir. Like
Oh, thank you, thank you.
it,
I'm
you
very
know,
self-conscious about that, so thank you.
well, I feel like you take care of each moment. You know what I'm saying? Like you're like, okay, this measure is gonna be just as good as the rest of these. I feel like you go piece by piece, and but you really take care to like ensure that things are heard when they're supposed to be heard. It's not just like throwing stuff together and adjusting volume.
Hmm.
You know what
Hmm.
I'm saying? And it 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 comes through in the
Thank
finished.
you.
Yeah, man. Um, that was dope. I'm glad we got to do that, and just so people can kind of hear where you were coming from on these. Listen, if you're just now tuning in, I'd just like to remind you, wherever you are, make sure you follow, like, subscribe, hit that bell notification icon so you can be notified whenever we go live. Now we have reached the portion of the show, which is my personal favorite part of the show every week, and it is called There's a Song for That. And there's a playlist as well on Spotify. There's a song for that. It's definitely been updated since I took this screenshot. But this is a purely 100% guest curated playlist from the There's a Song for That segment of the 6 Degrees podcast. And I don't add any tunes to it. These are all guest songs. So the way this works is I'm going to show you a photo, and then you, sir, are going to just talk about the photo, let us know, what feeling it evokes or what was going on at the time, and I want you to pick a song for that. And the reason I like this is because I think as artists we live in a very unique space where our whatever we create is always going to have a place, no matter what. It's going to connect with somebody. It's going to something we see, something we hear, something we smell. It's going to make us think about this. Um, if somebody, if you say, you know, 1999, I'm going to automatically think Juvenile, you know, Cash Money taking
Uh,
over 99 and
uh,
2000. I am. I'm going to
uh.
think now for the 9
Okay,
and 2000.
sorry.
Because of
That's
that.
you. I shouldn't do it. That's your thing.
It's not the
I
only
don't know
thing.
how you didn't say Prince, but okay.
That too. But I think of, look, bro,
Yeah.
I'm taking over for the 99 and the 2000, bro. It was really heavy in the South, bro. I don't think you understand the impact. Um, so yeah, so I think there's a song for all of these. And so I'm going to start here. I'm going to share this screen. And listen, as we're coming up with, and yeah, Kadre airing me out too. He automatically thinks Prince and the Matrix.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, that's not a song, but yeah.
Right? The Spotify list we can't listen. Nobody can find the playlist on Spotify for some reason. That's why I keep saying I'm gonna change the name. So next week, the playlist is gonna have a different name. So if you're watching this, I don't know time. I don't know whatever.
Put it in the link in the chat.
Yeah, I should have.
Hey, I'm smart sometimes.
You are, man. No matter what
I
they
have my
say,
moments. I
no
know.
matter what they say about you.
Thank you. I wish you would tell them.
Copy playlist link. Why didn't I just think to do this a long time ago? There's the playlist right there. Such an easy fix. And see, this is why it's important for us to have conversations with one another. Because you never know what you're overlooking. The smallest little
you know,
things. Anyway,
you know.
life lessons here on the 6 Degrees podcast. All right, here we go. I'm going to share my screen. And you will see the first picture to pop up for the There's a Song for That playlist.
Mm-mm.
Bam.
Ooh. Oh, okay, that's a good one. I thought it was gonna be way worse than that.
Nah. I mean, you know, what's going on here?
I'm rocking out, bro. I mean, you know.
Where was
So
this?
this is. I mean, it says it right there. It's a Knitting Factory in Brooklyn. This is with Caleb Holly, a very talented singer, songwriter, producer guy who's a father now. Yeah, he's
Congrats.
great. Check him out. Yeah, he's just like super super solid songwriter and musician and he's dope.
Yeah.
He's one of those people that's just really dope at a bunch of instruments and just a really down to earth nice dude. And every show he has the band wear track jackets and he's got like 30 of them. So you get to choose which one you wear and everything. So that's the one I had for that night, and he brought me out to rock out a solo, and that image happened.
That's what's up. Shouts out to track jackets. Track jackets are really low key fly and very underrated piece of fashion, I must say. So what would be a song? What's the song for this one?
Ooh, Let's Go Crazy, Prince.
So if you're not aware right by now, Kadre is the resident Prince enthusiast.
Nice.
Listen, any way he can, he will tie, I don't know, anything you say, he will tie it back to Prince some kind
I'm
of
all
way.
right with that. I am totally all right with that.
And he says, applause for putting the playlist in the chat. Yes.
Good job.
I wish I could take it. And because of that, Robbie says he should be the host instead of Bel-Ami.
Damn. Whew.
I can do that to you. No FCC here, sir.
We all need friends, right? Keep us humble.
All right. So that's added to the playlist. Here's the next picture. Bam.
Aw, see, I thought you'd have all these embarrassing ones. This ain't that embarrassing.
Slow down.
So that's me, my mom, and my little sister, who's a lot taller than me now. Yeah, she's probably she's like 6'3", 6. Yeah, I think she's 6'3". She's a pastry chef now. She's worked at 2 Michelin star restaurants.
Wow.
Um, Now she's back in Michigan, working at a bakery right now. Um, yeah, and that's my mama. So I'll show you my tattoo too. So my
That's
mom passed in 2050. I feel a little weird just look at my boob, but where is it? There we go. So she would call me Bobo at all my sporting events. She would be like the loudest person there. She'd be Bobo, 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 and I
yeah.
called her Mamo. So this is the last voicemail that I got from her before she passed away
Oh man.
in 2015, and it's her saying, "I love you and I miss you." And then on top of that, I have these are supposed to be like mountains. I don't know if you
Mm,
can see past my chest here, but it's supposed to be mountains. Uh, the first O is the sun. The second O is the moon.
mm.
Um, to me, I don't know if anybody else can tell that. Mountains, and then this is supposed to be kind of like the reflection of trees on water. I can see it. I don't know if anybody else can see that, but
I mean, we can kind of see it because you
that's huh?
we can see it because you're explaining. But if you was like, "Yo, what is
Yeah,
this?"
yeah, yeah,
Nobody
yeah.
pick it up.
That's all right. That's all right because it's a me thing, and I have it over my heart. And
Yeah,
yeah, so that's what that makes me think of.
that's beautiful. That's
My
beautiful.
mom.
What's the song for that?
Ooh, ooh, definitely some maize. Um, I got I'm blanking on the happy feelings, I guess.
Ah, good one, good
Yeah.
one. Happy feelings.
hmm Yeah, every spring, like the first day that's just warm enough to roll down the windows, I think of my mom because one spring when I was in like eighth grade, I think we were listening to that greatest hits album
Mm.
of Maze, and yeah, that's just the moment I think of it. Every like first spring warm weather day.
Kadre says, "A Song for Mama" by Boys to Men.
Ah,
Good one. That's a good one. He says,
hmm
"I thought the tattoo is represented the sound waves from your mom's
it,
voicemail."
it it was that it was that, but then my
It's
other like yeah, it's both. Yeah,
dig it, dig it. That's a good one, man. Shouts out to mamas. Listen,
my
we're
mom.
what? Listen, no one would be without a mama. You know
This
what I'm
is true.
saying? Shouts out to mamas, and shouts out
hmm
to little sis too, who is big
hmm
sis. Um, and because she would always come to support too. You know what I'm saying? She'd always be at everything. So you need family
hmm
like. All right, next picture. Here we go. Bam.
Ah, there's the gymnastics picture. I still got that scar. The scar that's on my inner elbow. I still got
Uh,
that.
what happened?
Actually, on that event called Parallel Bars.
Mm,
Um, I won't go into detail because you won't get it, but I was doing a maneuver called a moi. Wow, I don't know why it's called that. It's weird to hear that word now, but you like swing under the bars and then you swing up, you let go, and you catch on your forearms. And I
mm.
did it, but I shot out too far and I was just it's like
Uh,
skid across my forearm on there. hmm Yeah, it's basically faded now. Lotion. Yeah, you can't see shit. Whatever. Anyways. hmm
what's the song for this one?
I don't know. Can I phone a friend?
Phone a friend. Kadre, you got a song? You got a song for
Yeah,
this
there we go.
chat? Who's in the chat? Let us know. What's the song for this one? Zendada by George Gantz.
I don't know that one.
I don't know that one either. Let's see what that one's about. I swear, Kadre. Zunda. No, no, no. Bruh, I don't see this one. Not by the person you're talking about. I see a Zundada Gantz.
Zindada, zindada, zindada.
Is that what that is? Shika, 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 shika. Oh, okay, that one. Okay. All right, cool. We'll add that to the list. Is it called Zendada? I don't think it's called Zendada because I looked up Zendada and I ain't see nothing. He said it was in Breaking 2. All right, cool. All right, next song, next picture. Moving right along. Well,
What we got?
you look determined though. I will say that.
Oh, I was. I was ready to get done with that picture. I was like, yo, take the fucking. Oh, hell yeah. My favorite little painting that I've ever done.
Dominique Dawes looking at me.
Yeah, that was my hero. I wanted that to be my wife for real.
Everybody did.
Yeah, I was like, ooh, yes. I want her to be my wife one day. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what to say about this. So the beginning of the pandemic last March, I got super into drawing, which turned into painting. Yeah, and I actually painted this. This is on a postcard. I got these little postcard canvases, and I was gonna start sending them to friends. And then I liked this one, and I was like, nope, this is mine now. And I knew exactly who I was about to send it to, and I was like, nah, I'm gonna keep this one. Yeah. So I have not sent anybody one, but one day I will. But that's the Manhattan Bridge and the Brooklyn Bridge and Manhattan in the background.
Wow, bro, this is a really, really solid picture too. And if you go to,
thank you.
If you go to Bobby's Instagram page, which I will put,
which one?
I put his personal page in there, but this particular one is copy. This one is the Boz Art 30. Putting it in the chat. Right. If you head over to this one, you can see a lot of his sketches and paintings as well. Crazy talented. It's almost unfair for him to be talented in this way as well as musically. But yeah, go head over there, click that link, and follow him. Follow his art page as well. What's the song for this one? Kadre has one. Don't want to miss a thing. Was that for this one or for Kadre? I'm not sure. What are you thinking, Bobby?
This one I'm thinking, so when I first started visiting New York when I was still in college, I was listening to Robert Glasper Black Radio a lot. So I would say Afro Blue with Erykah Badu. Afro Blue, Erykah Badu.
Dream motherland, my soul.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember coming into the bus terminal listening to that song. So yeah, I think for me that definitely sticks out for New York.
And so if you go to his page and look at this, if you slide through the pictures, he actually has the original picture that he was painting from. And when I tell you it's spot on, like, and it's the little things. It's like the skyline. You know what I'm saying? Like that's in the background, but it makes all the difference because it makes the bridge make sense now. And little details like that, I think you produce that way as well. It's the little things that make the.
My favorite is the light on the bottom of the bridge.
Yes,
the light's coming in like.
Yes. Come on now. This guy's good.
And
here.
the wires on the far side of the Brooklyn Bridge, that atmospheric perspective.
Yeah. It's really good, man. It's solid work. Like, I could try all day to draw it, but then to paint it as well. That's cool. So we got Afro Blue in there. All right, you ready for the next one? We got a couple more.
My little street photography.
So this one is Bobby is multi-talented. Not only does he draw and paint, he also now is a photographer. This is your newest love, right?
Yeah, my obsession.
Talk about that. And talk about here.
Talk about what?
Talk about the photography and then also what's going on in this picture.
So I actually first got into photography last like July, because I moved to Tennessee and I'm staying with my great uncle and aunt down here, kind of waiting out the pandemic and saving unemployment and just trying to like be as ready as I can, whatever that means.
Yeah.
But I wanted to just start making more content. So between the 1 minute song videos that I've been making on Instagram, go check those out on my main page if you haven't. And having headshots and whatever, just
Yeah.
pictures for myself is why I started. And then the more I was on the University of YouTube learning how to use a camera, I started stumbling across all this other stuff in the actual art form of photography. And I was like, oh, I get photography. I get why this is a thing now. Yeah, and I kind of fell in love with street photography. Yeah, so I'm still hacking away trying to be good at photography, but it is something I really enjoy doing, and it's really similar to music and visual art, painting, drawing too. A lot of the fundamental things about both of them. Yeah, so that's my new hobby that I'm trying to make a gig. I got a photo shoot tomorrow.
Listen, you have made it a gig. You've gotten paid from it. So
this is true.
Listen, this is
true.
You just at the level of Guitar Center Bobby right now.
Right.
So what's the song for this one?
Ooh, what have I been listening to a lot? Krungbin. What song? I don't know. Maybe White Gloves, just because I like that one a lot.
Okay. And White Gloves.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to
I think that's
Krungbin.
the name of it.
Shouts out too. So DJ and Mark used to play with me.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, that's dope.
Yeah, man. Killing, bro. Killing musicians. DJ actually played bass when he played with me. But then he plays everything, first of all. Let's just talk about that. That's crazy.
Church cats.
Yeah, man. He plays everything. But I met him playing bass. He played bass with me. And then he played keys as we were on a gig waiting for the keyboard player to get there. Matter of fact, it was the gig that I first met Matt on. It was the gig that I met DJ. And we were waiting for a keyboard player to get there, and like the board was there because he didn't have to bring his board, and DJ just got on the board and started playing. And I was like, okay, this dude, you just play. Okay, cool. All right, you play. But yeah, shouts out to them. Krungbin. Good to see the glow up. So we put them in there. You ready for this next picture? I think this is the last one.
I mean, yeah, right now you making me look good, so I'm not. I thought I was gonna be like braces Bobby or some shit. No, you got all the.
But wait, sir, there's more.
Uh-oh. Hey, see, that's a good one. You see, you was making me look good. I mean, I look horrible, but in a good way. Look at that belly. That belly's almost gone now. I've been working out.
Go ahead. You got to talk about what is going on here.
So this one is for Boo. This is for Tiana. This was my Valentine's Day confession to her. And yeah, I don't really know what else to say about it.
Bro, when I saw this video,
I mean, I was trying to make, so I've been doing these 1 minute song videos that I kind of took the idea from Tierra Whack, because she has that album Whack World, and she
Yeah.
was releasing 1 minute songs, but like fully produced. This is nowhere near the level of her shit. But I think it's 15 songs, and then she put out like one a week or something. I don't remember. And then the whole thing is like one 15-minute video, but it's
Right.
also the full album. So my goal is to, one, take that kind of marketing idea for Instagram. I'm also stretching out my production chops because I'm writing these songs, producing them, playing everything in one day, like within hours, and videoing everything live. So that's why
Wow.
I have the headphones on, because everything that's happening is live takes.
That's
I'm not
crazy.
editing them at all. Um,
Listen, if you've never done this work before, that is really hard. That's really
it's
difficult.
a lot.
It's very time consuming,
Yeah.
and it requires you. It's really, if you enter in with that goal, like it requires you to not hold on to stuff too long and to really get out of your.
Hmm.
So
Exactly. Yeah. So that's the idea, is just to go just commit to everything really quick,
yeah.
not give myself enough time to overthink it and then end up not finishing it.
Mm.
Um, yeah. So I think this is the fourth one I did. Um, and I wanted to have like kind of a doo-wop group.
Yeah.
So that's what the three guys are. Um, yeah, and I like to be silly, I don't like to take things too seriously, because I think life's too short for that. Um,
Amen.
so yeah, it's just me trying to be silly, also make hopefully good music and kind of get attention, but not like fake, not like look at me, just like I don't know, just being. I think it's funny.
Kadre says Jacob Collier is the GOAT at those type of videos.
Oh yeah,
He's
yeah,
we're not even gonna get into Jacob Collier.
yeah.
He's
He's not even fair.
nah, he's
He's
not.
also been doing all of this stuff since he was like,
He
10. I
he was
mean,
doing
younger than that,
well,
really.
he low key started it.
Yeah, yeah,
So like that's kind of like whoever invented something doing it really really well, of course, because they kind of invented it.
yeah.
Um,
Had
and to
time.
the level, yeah, to the level that he does is crazy. Um,
Hmm.
so what's the song for this one?
Damn, I guess I got to go with another Prince one, because at some point I did think of the beautiful ones.
Ooh, yeah,
Just when he's down, you know,
yeah,
I want
yeah.
you. Yeah.
That's a good one. That's a good one. Yo, well, listen. That concludes this episode, or this installment rather, of There's a Song for That. You can find the playlist on Spotify. It's in the chat. I just put it in the chat. And oh crap, I should just do it again. Cause I can. Duh. I
Yeah,
don't did it before.
why make it difficult?
I don't know
People
why.
gotta scroll backwards and shit. Just
Yeah,
go there.
yeah. For what? People might say, "Oh, it's too much going on up
Oh,
there." I don't
that's
want.
why I've been looking at the wrong chat. I was looking at our private chat.
Oh, no, no, no. So yeah, we
See,
got
I've been
stuff.
missing stuff.
Bam. That is the
I'll look at that later.
there's a song for that playlist. Here is, I don't know, where's it at? Boom. There we go. There's a song for that guest curated playlist. And listen, yo, that Bobby, you picked some really cool songs. We got Prince in here, and I'm sure this next brother who I have backstage. Listen, if anyone else would like to pop in here and be face to face, ask some questions to my brother, Mr. Bobby Wesley, you can do that if you follow this link that I just posted in the chat. I'd like to remind you as well, before you pop back here, just make sure you click that like button, that little thumbs up thing. Follow, subscribe, share it, all that good stuff. Anyway, we got
Ah,
some.
Fred
stage.
Wesley.
Been waiting to talk to you for a minute, and so I'm gonna bring him in now. And listen, every time it's not an official stream unless Kadre is on here, and so Kadre is here. We are official. Kadre, you ready? Give me a thumbs up if you're ready, brother. All right, Kadre, what's good, bro?
Huh? You see what you see what I have
Hey,
in hand. Yes,
hey, the
yes.
purple
Not
one.
not on DVD, but on what? Blu-ray. Hello.
Now that's Purple Ray.
Yeah.
Purple Rain.
Oh man, this is Purple Rain and Under the Cherry Moon and Graffiti Bridge all in one collection. Hello.
Ooh,
Yes,
hell yeah.
Lord. Yes, Lord. Huh? Wow.
Damn.
Wow. So yes. So man, so I'm going to be enjoying some new music tonight. Like I said, like I bought five, I think it's like 4 or 5 singles from my tunes. Of course, all of them
I
yours.
appreciate you.
Yes, sir. Same here, same here. I was wondering because like your name has a nice familiar ring to it.
Uh-huh.
Are you anywhere related to Fred Wesley?
Yeah, I saw you posted that. I don't.
Yeah.
I've been asked that before. I don't think so, but I also don't know. Because where
Okay.
is he from? It's not impossible. Because
I've
my
heard
my
his.
grandfather is from Louisiana,
Okay.
and
Yeah,
I don't
I've
know
heard
if
his
Fred
name a
Wesley's
lot.
from there, but I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, I've heard his name like a lot with with some of the old funkadelic records
Hmm.
and I think like James Brown if I'm not mistaken
Yep.
too. So
Yep.
yeah, so I'm like I wonder if Bobby is because like the name that's a nice name like Bobby Wesley, Fred West that sounds so legendary.
I'm gonna look into that. I'm gonna call my
Yeah.
granddad and ask him. I don't know why I keep forgetting to do
Oh
that.
yeah, definitely, man. Well, I'm enjoying the music so far and everything, and of course, I
Thank you.
know by you hooking up with Bel-Ami and all that. I'm like, shoot, I already know what time it is.
Yeah.
Yes, man. So I've been listening to like a lot of good music between laughing at different clips on the internet and of course listening to music. Of course, I've been listening to Bruno Mars heavy this week.
Oh
Mm.
yeah.
And so yeah, so now I'm adding your music to my to my musical meal.
There you go.
Thank you.
There you
Thank
go.
Yes,
you.
sir. Yes, sir. You're welcome. So yeah,
Yep.
you're in there along with Prince and Bruno and Michael and Bel-Ami and
Kadre,
all of them. Yes.
you'll actually get to meet Bobby in person because he's coming down with me when we do the festival this summer.
Oh
Hey,
yeah.
hey.
We do the Juneteenth festival. So
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Look
yeah.
I look
forward to it.
forward to it. So yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and get my vaccinations done and everything. So
Yeah. So you can breathe on us without, getting.
yes, sir. Yes, sir, for sure, for sure. But yeah, man, like it's a pleasure talking with y'all and everything. I just
You too.
discovered that I already had an HBO Max subscription.
Ooh.
That's random as hell, Kadre. What?
I know. But you know what? See, HBO Max is owned by Warner Media, who used to be on the Warners, Prince,
Okay.
Hey, see, there it is. There it
and
is.
and and
This
and
is
who ha-
six degrees. Six
and who
degrees of separation.
You're right.
There it is, right there. And whose name was mentioned in the Justice League movie, the one that came out in 2017? Prince.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Prince
Fun
and
fact of
Warner
the night.
Brothers and DC are like this.
Right, listen,
They're
Yeah.
like 6 degrees.
Yes.
that's what we do here on this podcast. We
Yeah.
with War
Yes.
with Justice League and
We
Yes.
loosely associate.
Come on now. Come on now. Come
that,
on now. He did the whole soundtrack. Hello.
right. That was a great, great, great soundtrack.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
the whole Batman soundtrack, the one from
Oh,
1989.
Is that the one
Yeah,
with what's his
On my
face? Yeah. Oh, I didn't know that. I used to love that
that's
movie.
the one.
That was like my
Yeah,
favorite one.
that's the one with Scandalous and Party Man, all of that stuff. Oh yeah,
Mm.
yes. Oh yeah, yeah. So yeah, I go deep in the purple pillow.
see, Kadre, thanks for the
Yes,
lesson. Is there anything else you wanted to ask Bobby?
man. So I mean, I just want to encourage you to just continue on with the music and everything. Oh,
Thank you.
and I'm pretty sure that you check with your distributor. I just started seeing earnings from Facebook streams.
Really?
Oh, okay.
Yes, yes, yeah, yeah, yeah. So yeah, so I urge everyone who is a musician in this chat room, check your distributors.
Okay.
You might
Hmm.
have some new money coming in.
Hey, listen.
Hey,
Only
I'll
thing,
take those.
only thing better than old money is new money.
Hello.
Only thing better than new money is old money. So,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But yeah, but everyone buy the music. Buy it. Don't just stream it. Buy it.
facts, facts.
Everyone. So
Kadre,
yeah.
Hmm.
thank you, brother. I'm gonna send you backstage, and we're gonna wrap it up. B.
Yes, sir. All
Yo, listen, this has been dope, man. Before we conclude though, I always and I neglected to do this like probably like the last half of like the last 4 or 5 episodes of the first season. But which I realize is just not seasons, we just doing numbers. This is episode 11. Um but I always ask because I want to build out this visual representation, or I have been building out this visual representation of um the community or the network that we have. And where is that? Let me click that. 1, 2, 3. Copy. Gonna post it down in the chat right now. If you click this Prezi link, it takes you to the document that I created to that shows how everyone, every guest on this podcast is connected. This is literally our 6 degrees of separation visually, and
Little
so
family tree.
it's our family tree essentially, or it's our web. Oh, what's up, James Bel-Ami in here? That's my daddy.
Hey.
Very interesting guest. Thank you, Daddy. You'll meet him in June. Um, yeah, so it shows our web. If you click that link, it'll take you right to it, and you can explore. You can see videos from each of my past guests, and watch their particular episode. We're gonna keep updating it every week. Just be patient. Um, and so, Bobby, I know you have connections with several of my previous guests. Um, Definitely Matthew Hartnett.
Hmm.
uh, Lindsay,
Alex, Lindsay.
Alex, you, Ike, who's my first guest, and Alex all went to Berkeley
Hmm.
at some point. And
And
then
Lindsay did too, right?
yeah, I said
Yeah,
Lindsay. Did I say Lindsay?
maybe. I
No,
don't know.
I didn't.
I didn't think so.
Y'all all went to Berkeley.
Uh,
So yeah, several of my guests you have connections with, and you'll be able to see it on there. And I'll follow up with you, and you can let me further explain the connections you do have if I don't know about some. But I always ask, is there someone you worked with that you've been like, wow, where I get to work with this person? And it's just been one of those moments where you're like, wow, man, this is really cool. And so I want to know the answer to that. And then is there someone who you haven't worked with yet who would give you that feeling as well?
hmm. I feel like there's been a lot. uh,
Here's my
I
idea.
was. Uh huh.
We're gonna this name that you're like, wow, it would really be an honor to work with this person. We're gonna put them on this document, and we're gonna make a connection some kind of way.
Oh
Off,
well, yeah. Some of them I already have connections to it, but I'm not there, so it doesn't matter. Like
mm,
Anderson .Paak's my favorite artist,
yeah.
um, and I know a handful of people that have worked with him,
Mm,
and I've worked with them, but not with him. Uh, And then as far as who I have played with, uh, I don't know. I mean, I would say like Willie Nelson's probably the most iconic name that I could drop. But it's not like I got anything from that. Michelle Ndegeocello was interesting,
Mm,
just because she was it was a small group of us, so we got to actually talk to her a little bit more, and she kind of
yeah.
gave each of us a little bit of feedback. Um, and Layla Hathaway, because the drummer Frank Fluker that was playing in that band was like one of my favorite drummers I've ever played with.
Oh
Where I
wow.
just felt like I was like floating, and he just made me feel like I sounded really, really good, better than
Mm.
I am.
Interesting.
um,
It's interesting that you would say that about a drummer because we don't. At least I'm not. And you are a guitarist. You know what I'm saying? So like when I think of guitarist, I think you would get that feeling from a keyboard player.
no,
But
for me, drums is the most important thing. I don't
mm,
really care about other instruments. Like to me, my job, I had a mentor in Detroit. His name's Frank Kelly, great guitar player. Um, that he taught me to pay attention to the hi hat. Whatever the hi hat is doing is what I need to be doing, and be playing off of. So for me, I consider myself a lot more of like a rhythm guitar player than anything else.
I can see.
Um, and at Berkeley, that was kind of what I was known for and what I got called for. And I think in general, is what people hit me up for, because I don't really have chops like that. I'm not a really flashy
Yeah.
player. I'm not gonna just be, like shred on everything, and I don't want to. Um, like to me, I just want everybody to, I want it to feel good. Most
Yeah.
importantly, I want to play the music, not play guitar.
That's heavy, and that is the perfect way to end and wrap this up. Yeah, man. Listen, Bobby, love you, bro. I appreciate
You
you
too.
coming on
Thanks for
here,
having me.
sharing your story, man. Just being open and vulnerable, and hopefully you've gained some new attention, and some people who will press play on some of those videos, press play on that buy button, and
Hmm.
support you, man. Listen, if you haven't yet, let me show you all the ways that you can support this brother. He's got like a million Instagrams, so we'll put them all in the chats right now. This is his personal. I guess this is
And
main.
music. Yeah,
This
the
is
main one.
this is main chick Instagram, and
A
so this is
wife.
main Instagram. And then if you link to this one, Bobby's underscore world, that is the Instagram where you can find a lot of his photography. And then this next one, um, you can also find photography,
But it's
uh,
portraits.
but it's portraits.
Mm.
Hence the name, uh, Portraits by Bobby. And then this last Instagram, because it's not enough,
Nope.
is um, a link to where you can find a lot of his sketches and paintings, um, Bob's art, 30, and let's not forget, um, you can stream his music on Spotify, and you can do that following this link. Or if you're like Kadre, and we really appreciate him for that, I didn't have
Hmm.
the Apple link. Make sure you just find him on Apple Music. You search Bobby Wesley. It's really easy to come up. It shouldn't be too hard at all. Let me just put it in here though for people who have not seen it. He's B West Music on IG, Bobby's underscore world, portraits by Bobby. I didn't put Bob's art in here. But you can follow that. I put the link in there. You can find it. Damn it. We can't do everything for you. But also make sure you follow 6 Degrees Podcast. We're here each and every Wednesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern, until we decide to wrap it up. This has been a lovely episode. Make sure you go and follow the There's a Song for That playlist on Spotify, which you can find here. Remember, tune into my brother Robbie Tolan's podcast each and every Thursday. New episodes drop. You can tune back whatever platform you're watching this on. You can find it here. Find me here as well on Saturdays, 10 p.m. Eastern for the Free Agents podcast. Got some really cool things coming up. I'd like to ask you one more time. Make sure you follow, like, subscribe, and share. And yeah, Bobby Wesley, man, he's just that dude. I thank you. Any parting words for the people?
I love you.
Amen.
Love you. Love yourself.
Love yourself. Appreciate you, Bobby. Stick around, man. I'm gonna follow back up with you in a second.
Cool.
Yo, this has been an incredible couple hours that we spent here with Bobby. Hopefully you guys learned something. I definitely learned some new things about him. I've been learning new things about each and every one of my friends that I've invited on my show, which is crazy. You think you know people and then you find something new about them. But it's all beautiful. Once again, this is the 6 Degrees Podcast, where instead of separation, we explore the ties that bind and focus on those things that keep us connected. Listen, I forgot to tell you, forgot to plug the skirt right here, the shirt. But there is no muse. There will be no music. Listen, Bobby, if you want to support, Bobby Wesley played all up and through this project. He did. He was a muse for this music. I was a muse for his guitar playing. So was Eric, and so was Miles and Obed, Matt Hartnett, and Will. Who else was on here? Idris. He's just out here musing. That's just being muses. Listen, I feel like I was something else I wanted to say too. I can't think of it. And it don't matter. What really matters is that you go stream this music or listen to this music, purchase this music. And we're going to take it out with another song. My favorite song. It's not my favorite. I like a lot of the stuff he do. Where is that? I thought I had it in here. Damn it. All right, hold on. Let me find it real quick. Thank y'all for being patient with me. This is not the ideal way to end the show, but it is the way we're going to end it today. And now the thing don't want to act right. All right. Okay. There we go. Oh, no. No, that's not what I wanted to do. I'm failing right now. But I love myself. Tell myself I love you. All right. This is one of my favorite songs that Bobby Wesley played on. And yeah, it's my shit. You got something to say? I don't care to hear it. No, not this one. That's not what I wanted to play. This one. But I want to go to this part.
When I get that feeling I need.
Yeah.
Lord, some of your healing.
Yeah. Ba-bom. Ba-ba-ba-bom. Ba-ba-ba-bom. I should shut up and let him play. Yo, thank y'all for tuning in. I appreciate y'all. Let's run that back. I just like that solo part. Bobby Wesley again, y'all. Peace. I'm out. See y'all next week.
I might